Welcome to the Three Mythics podcast. You've got me, Lucas, and
What's up? I'm Nick.
we like Magic a lot, and we like Zelda. We occasionally like beer too much, and so we want to talk about one of those things today.
Maybe even multiples. We'll see how it goes.
So, Nick, how was your day?
My day was good. It was a lazy day. I had it off, so I woke up early and I got breakfast, and then I went to do laundry, and then I took a fat nap, and now I'm here.
Sounds
that was
good.
My day. How was your day, Lucas?
It was eventful. It was a very eventful day that I'm not going to get into. You know, I actually hate this bullshit at the beginning of, like, podcasts that are like, hey, how's your day? It's like, dude, I don't give a shit about your day, man. I just want to, like, hear what they have to say, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to stop talking, and we're going to talk about Magic.
We're going to talk about the M19 pre-release that we attended last weekend.
Yes,
so
sir.
I guess we'll dive right into that. Lucas, how did you perform?
I did just as good as you did.
That is true, which is a rare occurrence.
Yeah, because I'm actually pretty bad at Magic. I just like collecting cards and beating people's ass in Commander when I can construct decks. I went 2-0. I played what was it? Forgive me, I don't know tricolor names yet all the way. It's green, white, blue. It was kind of based around Arcades, the strategist, but in Limited, it was really hard. So I had 2 walls, so it was just a bunch of things that fit within the color that kind of synergized. Kind of like leaning on blue for extra card draw and control. A little bit of control with white with like Hieromancer's Cage, is actually put in a lot of work. Just kind of like, I only had like 3 or 4 white cards in there, and then a lot of green cards to, you know, Titanic Growth. I had a Greenwood Sentinel. We'll get more into what actual cards I had and how they did later on. I felt overall the deck worked. The deck worked pretty well. It was a little slow for my liking, but I've been talking to a lot of people, and a lot of them are saying that the format is just slow, so be it. What about you, Nick?
I ended up playing, I almost went Bant as well, but I ended up with Selesnya. Ever since Dominaria pre-release, I've decided that 2-color decks are better than 3 colors right now. So yeah, I played Selesnya. My bombs were Hungering Hydra and Resplendent Angel. Didn't cast Resplendent Angel all day, but every time I cast Hungering Hydra, won games. Another card that was a standout to me was Gallant Cavalry. Anything that poops out a token is just Value Town.
Poops.
So I thought that was great. Other cards that really performed during the day were Highland Game, Gift of Paradise, and Rustwing Falcon. Yeah, green white enchantments were pretty good. So
That's pretty dope. I want to go back to your Gallant Cavalry, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Nick and I often have very podcast-esque talks, you know, off air, obviously. This is our first one. And we kind of talked about how this other time he was playing this one card. I think it was a Tree Folk. It was a 3/3 for 4, but it pooped out a 1/1 elf.
Correct.
This was at that Chaos draft we did.
Yeah, we did a Chaos draft. How many weeks ago? Like 2 weeks ago?
2 to
3 weeks
3,
ago?
yeah.
Yeah. And in that pack, it was a pack of M25 that got passed to me. There was a Swords of Plowshares on the top. And after I flipped through the pack, there was a Tree Folk that's a 4-drop, 3/3, poops out a 1/1 elf. And I chose that over the Swords of Plowshares. Everyone at the table looked at me like I was crazy, excluding my teammate Jimmy. And I shit you not, every single time I cast that Tree Folk, I won the game. So go wide strategies and draft are pretty good.
Yeah, I feel very strongly about Gallant and Cavalry. I wish I had played it now that I'm looking at the card. And it's what's cool about Gallant Cavalry too. It's a 2/2 for 4, which granted on its own that's meh, I wouldn't play that, but it gives you a 2/2 body, and both of them have vigilance. And that right there, I would say, is almost better than a 4/4 without vigilance.
Yeah, without a doubt, I would agree with that.
It's that go wide strategy that you just said. Same thing with that tree. Did it have any vigilance, lifelink, death touchy kind of stuff? Or
Believe it or not, no. But the 3/3 was good in the draft format. So.
Yeah. I think we had a really weird chaos draft format, but that was fun. I think that's definitely a card to note is Gallant and Cavalry. I'm surprised you didn't cast Resplendent Angel more.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that thing it's gnarly. You can just, I mean, given the 6 to give it lifelink and you get the angel, yada yada, that whole combo, yeah, it's pricey. But I still think it's a really solid card. I think it's going to see a lot of modern play. Like, I think they've been printing a lot of angels. I think an angel deck is somewhat more viable now than it was before Wizards was like, let's make an angel or 2 every deck.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure
set.
the names of the angels from Dominaria, but
There's
a lot of...
Sarah Dawnbringer was kick ass.
Yeah.
Because she gives everybody... I think she gives everybody a lifelink. I can look it up. But you get 4 Resplendent Angels, 4 Sarah Dawnbringers, and a bunch of small things that can just soar over, and you're just, like, making 5/5 tokens every turn.
Yep.
And that's insane. That's so much value off your 3 for 3. That's great. Are there any other cards in your deck that were tight that just performed?
Inspired Charge was really good. I opened 2 in my sealed pool. I only had room for 1 because the deck was just really tight for space. But I noticed in between rounds, I always went into Plummet, sideboarded in, just went into 41, and honestly, I think I should just main decked the 41 all day because 25% of the creatures in this set have flying as a mechanic, so it would have just behooved me to have that forever in the deck. What about you? Any other cards that overperform, underperform?
Yeah, no, for me, it was surprising. Because I was playing the, the Arcades, which, it was nice. It's what is it, a 3/5 for 4 flying vigilance? But the moment you play that, it becomes a target of the murder that your opponent's been holding on the whole entire game, and it's a good card when it doesn't get taken off the field immediately. But from my experience, every time I played it, it got taken off the field immediately. So I would say yes, it performed, or it could have performed, is what I want to say.
Okay.
But for me, something that kicked ass was actually Wall of Vines. I played 2 in the deck, and it was weird because I would almost guaranteed every hand, if I didn't open with it, I'd have it by turn 3 on the field.
That's interesting.
It was very interesting.
Yeah.
And you drop this 0/3 defender that's literally not going to do anything. It's literally just going to block. And your opponent just gets so scared. They're like, oh my gosh, I can't get this, 2/3 over. I can't get this, whatever over. And I'm just, sitting there cracking. I think that might be one of the reasons why I won the game. It's because I drop it so early and just be able to, stop their attacks until I dropped my bombs, which were... Let me find them. I'm working with a picture here. Mirror Image was tight. I could just copy something. One of my bombs most of the time. But my bombs were Knight of the Tusk, which is a 3/7 Vigilance for a 4 white. It's a very nice blocker to have. And then of course you can swing him for that 3 if you can get it in without dying. But it's basically like a jacked up wall without the wall ability.
Right.
Very fun. Another card that was fun to play was Djinn. I can't talk. The Djinn of Wishes.
How did that play for you?
4/4 for 5 flying. When it enters, it gets 3 of its special counters on it, and I can top 4. Remove a wish counter from the wish. Reveal the top card of your library. You may play that card without paying its mana cost. If you don't, exile it. I didn't use that ability once actually. There was not a single time that I used it. Because I didn't want to exile cards in a 40 card format. I feel like every card you need in your deck, and I'd rather draw into something I'll need later on than just to exile it and just have a dead draw for a turn and then miss out on a whole entire card for a whole game.
And I want to say during round 2, didn't your opponent almost deck you too, or was I misreading that situation?
No, that was because you were watching that. I was playing this guy. He started off with 1 deck. I think it was that guy that switched decks.
It was the guy that switched decks.
Yeah. Game 2, this guy switches decks, beats me, and then the third game goes back to the deck he played the first time, and the dude almost mills me out, and it was wild. And I had Djinn of Wishes. Of course, I'm not gonna use it, but having a 4/4 flyer was awesome because, like you said, a lot of the things have flying in this format, and it's really nice to have because a 4/4 flyer is, from my experience when I was playing, bigger than most of the flyers that I saw.
Yeah, without a doubt.
And so it was a nice blocker when I could get it in. Hell yeah, more for your money. My other, what was it? 3 bombs were Horizon Scholar. This is kind of like Wind Something Sphinx. What is it? From Dominaria. You drop it, you scry 2.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's a 4/4 for 6, which I wasn't a fan of. But it's flying, and it's scry 2, which is always nice in a limited format. And so being able to scry those 2 and just kind of get ahead was tight. Colossal Dreadmaw, played that. I actually played 2 of them. I think that was the biggest bomb in my game, and then I would sometimes mirror image it, and I'd have like 2 on the field, and my opponent had no idea what to do. And then the last card that I played was Meteor Golem, which is a 3/3 for 7. But when it enters the battlefield, I get to destroy target non-land permanent and opponent controls. So it's just like a really high-costed kill whatever you want spell, and it performed really well. It performed really, really well.
Yeah, and every pre-release thread I was on Reddit that day, they said that card overperformed for them.
Yeah.
So
Almost didn't play it, but really glad I did. Maybe I think I would play it in draft too.
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely take it if there was nothing else, obviously. But I feel like draft is going to be so much more. Draft is so much more constructed, so much, you can actually build your deck
right.
a lot better. And so waiting until that, turn 7, hoping you hit a mana drop or a land drop every turn, I don't think it's as viable as a limited format. Other cards in my deck, though, that were really tight was Excursion Mage. It's a 2/2 for 3, but when you play it, you get to bounce a card back to an opponent's hand. Aven Wind Mage, another flyer. Anticipate was rad. It's on the end of my opponent's turn. Got to look at some cards. Greenwood Sentinel surprisingly did really, really well. It's 2/2 for 3, 2 and a green. And it has Vigilance. That's it. And it was, kicking butt every time. Every time I played it, it would always come in clutch. Totally Lost was nice. Played that a couple times. I mentioned Hieromancer's Cage earlier. Mm-hmm. That put in the work too. It was really nice to be able to, just exile a creature until it left, and no one would be able to exile Hieromancer's Cage because no one thought of putting enchantment removal in their deck. And so that was pretty bomb.
One of the reasons I play Luminous Bonds.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, I think the pre-release for M19 was really solid. I
would
think
agree
it
with that.
was super fun. We were there all day.
I'm super stoked the core sets are back because they've been my favorite. Especially with Origins, I played so heavily during that format, and I was super sad when they took away core sets. So
yeah, I'm excited for this too. I'm excited. What else does Magic have coming up? We got the Ravnica.
Yeah, we're going back to Ravnica. I'm actually not excited to spend 3 sets there, but
what
probably
about
the lone majority in that.
Yeah, what about it? You're not stoked for it?
I just think that going back for 3 consecutive sets is too much. I could see 1 or 2 sets, but 3 sets is just a lot.
It is a lot,
in my opinion.
Yeah.
The Shocklands will be cool to have in standard, but
yeah. I was not playing Magic when Ravnica was a thing, and so being able to go to that plane was really tight, or is gonna be really tight. Whoops. Same thing with like Dominaria. Obviously, Dominaria is huge in Magic lore and whatnot, and being able to play through a set there is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Especially after joining Amonkhet Hour of Devastation block, which it wasn't the best, and I think for a new beginner, it was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I had a blast. But after playing through Dominaria, I liked Ixalan kind of. It was fun.
Ixalan's been my favorite block in years.
Really?
Lorwyn is my favorite block,
Okay.
and it reminded me so much of Lorwyn with the tribal synergy and the vivid artwork.
Yeah, definitely a fan of the tribal synergy.
Yeah,
definitely. I don't know how much I got behind dinosaurs and pirates and what else did they have? Vampires and
merfolk, vampires.
Merfolk are the fucking tits. And then Core 19 too. I haven't really played much of it. We're drafting this weekend, of course. Excited for that. But just kind of How do we even get on the subject?
Of what?
Oh yeah, Ravnica, dude.
Yeah, what's coming up?
So I'm excited for Ravnica because I like going back and seeing where Magic has come from, being a newer player. I think I've played. When did Ravnica come out? A year and a half ago? Beginning of 2017?
God, it feels like a long time ago because I played so much of it.
Dude,
we get Commander spoilers tomorrow.
Oh my god, I'm so excited.
So yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited.
I'm pretty excited for that. No official spoilers. It's just going to be artwork and color identity. And then the 23rd of this month, I believe, is actual card spoilers.
Okay.
So
that's exciting.
Yep.
Fun Story. Nick and I have a lot of fun stories. We could probably have a whole podcast on just our stupid shit we've done.
Without a doubt, yes.
But the fun fact, the first time I met Nick, I was with a buddy of mine, and he was two of his buddies. And we ended up sitting next to them at an FNM. Yes, it was an FNM. During Omnicat, me and my buddy just digging around, no idea what we're doing. Lean over to these guys, we're like, hey, we're new. Like, what's up, dudes? And the five of us ended up splitting a box of Omnicat together.
Oh, no, this was just casual. Because, like, they went
Really?
over to EV, and I was running late from a trip to Malibu, yeah.
Okay.
So this was just, like, super duper casual.
Shoot, I thought it was FNM. Okay.
No.
Yeah, I ended up buying a box. I pulled... The only thing I remember pulling was, what was that 7-drop? The not Cruel Ultimatum. The one where the guy's drowning the guy. Anyways, it's like the black mythic, one of them where your opponent does something, he sacks a creature or pays 5 life that really underperformed. Not Nick, we were with Jake. He pulled the blue one that gets a counter every time. You can put
As Foretold?
Yeah, he pulled one of those. I don't remember what else you or the other two guys pulled though.
I don't think they pulled anything that great. I think someone at the table pulled a Glory Bringer. It might have been Jake.
Yeah, Jake did pull the logo. I remember that.
I don't remember pulling anything besides like the dual cycle lands that was super great, but
yeah, okay.
I think I made my money back that day.
Yeah, that was a fun split, especially between 5 guys where you're just sitting there and having fun, and you know, it's fairly cheap to buy a box of, you know, that was fun. I think Nick has another story for us though.
So, is this the pre-release story?
Oh, this is the pre-release story.
So, tournament wrapped up for pre-release, and I was doing a deck tech on the phone with my old teammate in Tallahassee, Florida, and Lucas went up to collect our prizes, and I had him collect my prizes, because I didn't want to get up. I was busy, so I guess there were 3 packs left in the box.
Yeah.
And those were designated to...
There was 4, and they were designated to me.
They were designated to Lucas, so Lucas deciding, there's only 4 packs left in this box. I'm going to go ahead and give them to Nick. So he got the crack at a fresh box, and he comes back to the table. He hands me my packs. I set them aside. He goes ahead and opens his packs. What'd you pull? Did you pull anything?
I don't even remember what I pulled. I remember I pulled that rare that you said you liked, and I was still like, fuck, I don't even know if this card existed here. You could have it. Like, it was, are you putting it? Okay, so Nick, side note, Nick's building a commander deck that he's not telling me about right now. And it might be in there.
But,
yeah, anyways. It was I pulled garbage. I pulled toilet paper.
Literally garbage fire is what he pulled. But, I opened my packs. In pack 1, I crack in Omniscience. And I'm like, okay, this is a mythic.
I was pissed.
Pack 2, I crack in Nicol Bolas the Ravager. And by this time, I'm dying. I'm giggling like a schoolgirl. And then pack 3, I open Scape Shift, and I just fall on the floor.
I remember the noise you made.
It's like a banshee.
Dude, it was literally just a high-pitched squeal. And motherfucking the whole store looks at Nick.
Like he's having I'm having a seizure.
You were having a fucking seizure. Yeah, the whole store looks where Nick was sitting because he fell out of his chair and started rolling around the floor like a fucking downser. And like...
The downs are just the 3 mythics, though. So.
Wish I was the downs or jeez.
So, I don't know. I felt like Lucas invited karma into the house that day.
100%. Yeah, I'm a... So, that's our M19 story that will continue to grow as we continue to play.